Welcome back everyone to Heroes and Villains HQ. Today I have a new exciting vintage collection review for you. Alexsandr Kallus from Star Wars Rebels, a long-awaited character. Before we crack him open, be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and notification buttons down below to stay tuned for more content on my channel. But enough said, let's open up Kallus. So starting first with the packaging, one thing to note, don't buy vintage collection figures from Amazon. They will come damaged every single time. Luckily, I am an out-of-the-box package collector, so I take my figures out of the package, so it doesn't really matter to me, but just don't buy them from Amazon. It just never ends in a pleasant way. As for the packaging, though, we have the standard vintage collection card back with this nice orange color for Kallus, and then obviously a look at the character from the animated Rebels show. Now, to note, the likeness of the character is a mashup between animated and live action interpretation, so that's just a quick call out, but we do have a look at the character there. And then on the back, I'm glad they went back to the old school vintage collection packaging here with the massive color block, the description, and a look at the character. So before we crack this open, be sure to check out my video showing how to remove the bubble without damaging the card back. That's how I'm going to open it, so definitely check that out. But let's open up Kallus. All right, now that I have Kallus out of the packaging here, I can safely say that this is definitely one of my favorite vintage collection figures on the year. He reuses a lot of parts, however, does it in a really awesome way. So from the torso down, you have reuse of the Imperial officer uniform, basically. You have the legs, as well as the boots, and then the standard kind of cape there. However, when you get to the top half of the figure, now you have a new chest plate with his insignia badge, and now you do have a swappable helmet as well. And this reveals a great Kallus likeness. As I mentioned when opening the package, this is kind of a mashup between animation and a live action interpretation of the character, and I think they did a really good job. I wonder if we're going to see him in maybe Ahsoka Season 2 as a rebel officer of the New Republic or something like that. Now coming back to the accessories, you can see this is a brand new helmet mold. One I definitely hope they utilize in the future for more, agent figures of the Empire. Obviously, we got to see this helmet in Battlefront 2. Would love to see them release that type of figure, maybe a Battlefront 2 builder pack with 4 different Imperial officers, or maybe just 4 different Battlefront 2 characters. I don't know. Just ideas. I'd love to see that reused. Then you do have his Lasat staff here, which is massive. You can see it's even out of the frame. Now, the staff is 3 parts. The 2 first parts here are the electricity, which just push into the top beams. And these are identical pieces. These look really good, and I'm very happy with how they attach. Sometimes those pieces, they just rest and they fall over the place, and I don't really like those. I love that they just attach right at the ends there. And then the rest of the staff is, the standard look. This is new. Now pulling Zeb up, you can obviously see the height difference, but now just taking a look at the 2 different staffs here, they are the same in length. However, Zeb's is a little more customized than Kallus's. This is kind of just a bare bones look at Kallus's. So they are different. However, they are the same size, so they scale perfectly with each other. As for the articulation of this figure, you do get the 90 degrees at the knees. You do get pretty good hips. Really great articulation there. You can really get those hips opened up. As for the shoulders, they move up and around, and you do get 90 degrees at the elbows. So overall, nothing super special about this figure per se. Obviously, you got the new helmet, the new staff, the new chest plate, so a lot of new parts, but nothing overly special to stand out among other new figures. I'm just really glad that we have Kallus now, especially with the Ghost out and all of those figures. This one's going to pair perfectly with those who backed that HasLab. And it's just an awesome figure. It's an awesome character, and one I'm happy to have in the collection. So what are my final thoughts on a brand new vintage collection Alexsandr Kallus figure? Really, really like this one. I think they did a great job reusing some parts, but also introducing some new parts. And I hope we see that helmet mold in future figures. But I'm just glad to start building out the Rebels series. I know we're getting a few more figures next year, so hopefully we can start building out those ranks. But Kallus, great addition to the collection. Really excited for this one, and I highly recommend you pick this one up before it sells out. So thank you all so much for watching this vintage collection review. If you did enjoy, hit the like, subscribe, and notification buttons down below so you can stay tuned for more content on my channel. As always, thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.